what it do? Gon' tell me how you feel. Chillin' with the big dog, giving you the real deal. No lies or gimmicks, keep it authentic. It's time to turn up, yeah, it's time to get it. Hey.
What's up, guys? What is up? This is Big Dog in the motherfucking house. Once again, another podcast. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, let's thank the Lord that we are alive to live another day, because we always know that tomorrow is never promised. Yes, 2023. A new year, a new beginning, blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. Another day. Let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Another day of madness, craziness. Just be blessed that you're here. Today's topic is the hammer or the nail. So, what would you like to be? Would you like to be the hammer or would you like to be the nail? The majority of you, ladies and gentlemen, the majority of you are going to say that they want to be the hammer. Why? Because the hammer puts the nail in the hole or in its place or wherever it's going. And they want to be what? They want to be in control. So they want to be the power, the strength, the one doing the direction, the pointing, the aiming, etc. But did you know that in relationships that occurs too? Someone is always the hammer and someone is always the nail. Some of you might say, I want to be the nail. And you might think that that person is weaker because they rather be put into place. They rather be put in the direction, in the right location. But you know what, guys? Every single one of you is wrong. There is no right or wrong answer to this. It doesn't matter if you want to be the hammer or the nail. What you want to be are both. Because you need both. First of all, without the nails, there is no hammer. And without the hammer, there can't be no nails. What are you going to do? Hammer the walls? Break holes in them? Go crazy? It's just like a man when he's alone by himself. What is he going to do? Hit himself over the head with a hammer? But then in life, there's women who want to be the hammer. They want to be in control of the relationship. They want to tell the person what to do. That's why I'm telling you, there is no right or wrong answer to this. But I would say both, because in a relationship, you should always have equality, equal, 50-50. That's why you are in a relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife, whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter which one is which, because they both need each other. You need sometimes the nails because they're going to be the ones that put up that beautiful picture. They're the ones that hold everything together. Oh, shit. You didn't know that. You thought it was all about the hammer. No. The nail is what creates structure. The nail holds up, like I just said, pictures, holds up things together. It holds everything together like a relationship. The hammer is insignificant. You can find another tool to use to put up that beautiful picture. It doesn't matter. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the hammer and the nail. Now, the hammer is, if you want to so-called be the leader. But how do you lead? Do you lead in the right direction? Or are you going to just be the person who tells, like in a relationship, what he or she has to do? Are you going to compromise? Think about it. For me, it doesn't matter which one. Because without one or the other, there is nothing. There is zero. So both of them need to be used together in coordinates. But look around you. Look at your house. Look at your walls. Look at everything around you. How do you hold up your TV? You don't hold it up with a hammer. You hold it up with a nail. Everything is used with that way. Because you can use a drill. You don't need the hammer. You can use the drill to drill everything in. Same way you put pictures on the wall. You don't hammer everything in. Okay? So try to be a little more open-minded when you think that by being the hammer, you're going to be the boss. You're going to be the one in charge. You're going to be the one leading. Now, it depends on how you lead, because everybody needs a leader and everybody needs a follower. We always need followers to follow the leader. And the leader needs followers to follow him or her. It doesn't really matter. But at the end of the day, they both go hand in hand. So that's what I want to tell you guys about the hammer and the nail. If you said both, you are absolutely correct. You are absolutely right. There is no ifs or buts about it. It is the hammer and the nail go hand in hand together. It's not about being one or the other. It's about both becoming united together, and that's just like a relationship. You unite each other, because you may be the one giving the directions, but the nail knows where it needs to go, how it needs to be placed, if it's crooked or not. And that's where, let's just use on one hand, it doesn't really matter if it's man or woman, but for me, I don't mind being the nail, because sometimes, well, the majority of the time, actually 100% of the time, at least for me, my wife is always right. I've taught her a lot. I've shown her a lot. I've shown her how cruel this world can be. Since day one, I've been with her for a very long time, and from the very beginning, and she didn't know how this world would be, and she didn't know how cruel it was, because her coming from Puerto Rico is a different atmosphere and with different mindset, and the people are very caring and loving and everything, and coming over here to the United States of America can be very, very, very cruel. And you can see it with your own eyes. People will lie to you right in front of your face. Even if you have facts, even if you have the truth and it's lying right in front of you, they will lie to you. And then that is how she learned how this world works, especially in the fitness world, you know, in the world that I brought her up in, competing and all those things. And now that she's become the leader, I don't mind following. So I don't mind becoming the nail as she is the hammer, because at the beginning I was showing her, as like I said, it's 50-50. I was showing her the right direction. So I had to put her in the right direction, and I had to use the hammer in order to do that. And now the tables have turned, and she sees everything, and she always, at least in my perspective, not always, women have a more open view of mindset. They think a little bit more, versus the men, we react faster than using our brains. And sometimes it's better to be quiet and not say nothing at all if you're not going to say nothing nice. Even if when you come within confrontation with people, you need to learn how to control yourself and just listen. You know, and that's what I was talking about today. I was talking with my guys that today's podcast was going to be about the hammer and the nail, and that's how life is, basically, because we need to learn when to pick our battles, when to make the right moves, just like the game of chess, when to move the pieces in the right direction. And it's tough because as you get older, you start to see things in a different perspective, and I start to see things that I just analyze. I'll give a phenomenal example. Today there was a little confrontation, and right there I saw the hammer and the nail right there, and that's what brought me to this podcast today, because they both wanted to be the hammer. Neither one wanted to let down, and no one wanted to be the nail, because everybody wanted to be in charge, and they wanted to keep hammering it in and rubbing it in each other's face, and neither one was right nor wrong. But the things that someone says, and because you know, one apologized to the other, and the other one says, oh, you said thank you, but you were sarcastic and stuff like that. And I was like, people are so sensitive. That's why I tell you about the new year. It means nothing. It brings people to more anger, more frustration. People are more agitated. People, they just always in January, it's always something. You always think that you're going to start the new year off right, and you're going to start the new year off with a bang, and it's the opposite, and you're getting hammered over the head. And people are bringing problems already, and you're trying to control it and calm it down. And then you have to be both. That's what I did today. I had to be the hammer and the nail, and I had to put them both in their place and both apologize for something that had nothing to do with myself, but you have to learn how to do that, being apologetic and apologizing to one for being, he might be right or he might be wrong, or apologizing to that other person, she might be wrong, she might be right, but it didn't matter. At the end of the day, you want to resolve that problem and squash it. You know, you want to hammer that problem out and get it out of the way. And that's just how life is, guys. You know, you can't take everything, you know, so sentimental. I know this culture that we're living in is so fucking weak right now. It just drives me insane that I want to hammer myself over the head sometimes. And there's just so many things you just got to avoid. And you say, how do I avoid them? I'll give you a great fucking example. I go to Walmart yesterday. There's so many people standing in line. I really don't do that. I needed something ASAP. I normally do the Walmart app and I just pick it up and go. I don't want to see people's face. I don't want to come into confrontation. I don't want any problems. I don't want any of those things. So I rather just do things by app, pick them up and keep going. But yesterday I only had to get 3 items. I had to get some coffee that I normally get for the gym. I had to get some Pampers for my son, Aiden. And the last thing I had to get, I'm trying to remember, but I don't remember. But, and I had to get garbage bags. That's right. I had to get garbage bags for my house. So those 3 things to go into the short line. And that short line was tremendously long, even if people had 2 things, but I thought it was going super fast. And then you'll get someone that just out of nowhere wants to cut you off because they don't give a fuck balls to the wall because they said they were next and they don't care. And if you have a problem and you don't like it, they'll hammer you right over the head with it and they don't give a shit. Go for it. You really want to go in front of me? No problem. Go right ahead. Go. No, I'm in no rush. I have nowhere to go. I am just fine where I am. I'm just enjoying life. And the person thinks to himself, wow, what the hell did I just do? What the hell did I just say? And I was just being a fucking asshole. No, you know what? You're right. You only have 3 things. And I skipped you. And I have like 20 items. So go ahead. It's 3 things that are really small. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you have a beautiful day and a blessed day. That's the first problem that was solved. Leaving the parking lot, going outside. Big monster truck. Obviously going in the wrong direction. Who cares? You're backing out. You're about to go in the right direction, in the correct direction, in the right way, forward. But to avoid problems, you can already see the person's agitated, doesn't care, wants to look for trouble. What do? Back up. Back up as far as I can so that big monster truck can pull in and go around and go past me and avoid confrontation, avoid problems. I don't have to be the machismo. I don't have to be the big man. I don't have to be the monster. Sometimes the smarter person, is the quiet person, is the one who has nothing to say at all. Just ignore it. Go about your day because you have plans and you want those plans to continue going and you want them to be set and you want to go in a beautiful to wherever you're going to have and enjoy your beautiful time with your family. So ignore it. Exactly what I did. And then what does the person do? Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for letting me get by. I appreciate it. But you can already see the person was agitated. No problem. And then you go about your day. Then you get to somewhere else, and then you have a huge line. You know you're going to wait for another hour, 2 hours just to sit and eat. You're agitated now. Why? Why get mad? You knew it was going to be long. You knew the line was going to be horrifically long. So the person says, you can sit right there at that high top. And I'm saying to myself, but I have a kid. But you know what? Who cares? Yes, you're absolutely right. There's 2 chairs. There's no problem with putting Aiden on my lap or on my wife's lap. It doesn't matter because we want to go to that restaurant. We want to go to that place. We want to taste that food. We want to enjoy our time. We had a phenomenal time. It was a blast. It was amazing. And it didn't matter because she was in control. I was in control. We were both in control. It didn't matter who was the hammer and who was the nail. We just wanted to get there and we did the right thing and we had a great time and we thought about it. We used our head. We didn't hit ourselves over the head with a hammer just to be who was right and who was wrong. And it was phenomenal. And the whole day went phenomenal because we avoided those types of problems. We avoided those types of situations, things that we need to do, things that we need to try to avoid in our lives. That's why I bring up the hammer and the nail, because we always want to fucking be in charge. Sometimes you don't have to be in charge. You can let someone else lead and you can follow. Every good leader can be a follower also. How did you become a leader? Because you followed someone that could lead. And then from there, you grew into that and you became the leader. So he hands you over the hammer so that you can be the leader, but you need to learn how to use it properly. You don't need to learn how to use everything violently, aggressively, with anger, frustration. No, you need to learn how to control yourself. So that's what I'm going to leave you with today. You already know the answer. I already told you. What did you want to be? The hammer and the nail. There was no right or wrong answer. I chose both. If you chose both, you were right. If you chose to be the hammer, you were still right. If you chose to be the nail, you were still right. So there was no right or wrong answer, period. But uniting together as one is the best thing you can do. This is Big Dog kicking you the real deal. And like I like to always leave you, bada boom, bada bang, chicka chung, chicka chang, and I'm out this motherfucker, ladies and gentlemen.
What it do? Gon' tell me how you feel. Boom. Chillin' with the big dog, giving you the real deal. No lies or gimmicks, keep it authentic. It's time to turn up, yeah, it's time to get it. Hey.